appeared on the world's prestigious newspapers when it announced the discovery of what was possibly a giant planet in the solar system that is lurking beyond Pluto. 1 week later, it rejected all of its findings and never said another word about it. 33 years later, in October 2016, Caltech researchers announced new evidence which suggests that a bizarre planet with highly elongated orbit exists in our solar system. What's up guys, this is JT here at X-Science, and as I said a minute ago, Caltech researchers announced the discovery of a huge planet in our solar system. In January of 2016, they reported a mysterious unseen planet that is 1. Very big, and 2. Orbits the Sun in a very weird manner, and this profoundly affects the whole solar system, even the Sun itself. 9 months later, another announcement was made at a meeting of the American Societies of Astronomy in the divisions of planet science. This once again made its way to the headlines of many major news outlets. Both discoveries agree on the fact that an unseen giant planet is in our solar system, or at least a binary solar system with our neighbor nemesis. And it is tugging at the inner planet and at the same time making the Sun act in a very unpredictable manner. The authors of this very new research is Elizabeth Bailey, and according to her words, not only is Planet X massive, its orbit is so tilted that it forces the whole solar system to slowly follow it. Now, in case you don't know, the planets of our solar system orbit the Sun in a single plane, which is 6 degrees tilted. However, Planet X orbits in a bizarre and elongated plane that is tilted by 30 degrees. As a result of this, the Sun and every known planet of the solar system are affected. First, let's talk about the Sun. A recent research showed that the sunspots have been increasing dramatically in frequencies and intensity in the past few decades. In fact, they are at their most active in 8,000 years. 8 millennia is a long time ago, and this sudden rocketing in sunspot is nowhere near normal. The long-term increase in solar irradiance is hitting the inner planets, including the Earth. There is no need to say this because global warming is occurring everywhere, and all of us can see it. Extreme heatwaves, megastorms, ice cap melting, all of the phenomena so far attributed to man-made pollution are actually caused by sun anomalies. Why do I say this? Well, because data from Mercury and Mars show that these two planets are also being heated up. This has been confirmed by the researchers at the Russian Astronomical Observatory by the irradiance from the Sun. Uranus, for example, is experiencing very active storm cloud formation. Other than that, we know that every year the amount of galactic dust entering our solar system increases by a staggering threefold. This makes perfect sense because many leaked sources have confirmed that there is a cloud of gas and dust around the system of Planet X, and therefore it is completely reasonable that we have more galactic dust at Planet X's approaches. Also, you might not know this, but 40,000 tons of cosmic debris fall onto the Earth on an annual basis. You might be asking yourself, if a whole freaking planetary system is coming from the Earth, why do we not see it in the sky, and why cannot amateur astronomers track its movement? Well, there are a lot of reasons. The first one is that Nibiru approaches from the direction of the South Pole on the ecliptic. Therefore, Unless you are far in the southern hemisphere, it is much more difficult to see the planet. Secondly, it is probably not close enough, and so it is only visible in certain light spectrum. NASA only discovered it in infrared, and that is why we can sometimes see it in video footage as a second red sun in the sky. Now, I have said in many past videos, scientists have reported that this heavenly body, be it a system of planets in our binary solar system or a miniature solar system, its center is made up of a lot of iron oxide, and that explains the red colors it radiates when it is visible and in the right spectrum. Last but not least, censorship, people. I'm not talking about a national security mandate that forbids government agencies to address the issue, but a worldwide censorship agenda. This agenda is so massive that governments have been spraying mist into the atmosphere in order to blur or alter the light spectrum so that the public cannot see Planet X coming, and therefore we are all kept in the dark. Since NASA discovered it in 1983, Planet X must have traveled a great distance and is much closer to Earth now. Yet, it is still pretty much a mystery, or should I say, a secret. As you can see, those in power cannot simply announce that a planet system is heading towards our planet and spell inevitable doom. They are in a position where, even with 33 years of time, they can't find a good position to announce the inbound apocalypse. Announcing the incoming doom would mean losing control over societies and economies around the world. Civilizations as we know it would collapse even before Nibiru actually arrived. Wars and conflicts on many scales, from individual to national, would have broken out over scarce resources and the right to survive Judgment Day. And by the right to survive, I was alluding to all the elite secret preparation. If you have been following us, you would know that governments around the world are building secret shelters to prepare for something big. And these preparations far bypass the requirement to survive a nuclear war. From the US to Russia and China, underground cities, secret shelters and ghost towns are being constructed in the most secure places and far away from the ocean. If the public really knows about it, the construction wouldn't even be feasible, let alone the elites smoothly moving into these secret facilities when Nibiru is here. Oh, by the way, this is one of the cases where I think negligence is a blessing, because, if death is coming, and there is nothing we can do about it, we might as well not know about it, and enjoy life as we have always done, in a bit of comfort. Worrying and feeling desperate is tiring. You will like it. The final things I want to talk to you guys today is how religions also agrees with the coming of a giant heavenly body. You might think that it is not worth believing, but you should know that religions are built upon accumulated knowledge of many people over the centuries, and they are valid in many senses. Now, I'm not a theologist, and I don't know perfectly about many religions, and so today I would like to address the only one that I know best, and that is the words of Revelation, the 6 seals of Revelations, and the star will fall from the sky. Now, if a large celestial body crosses by the earth, the possibilities of the sun becoming dark is very likely. And even so, this sounds weird, but today we know of this phenomenon as solar eclipse. Similarly, blood moon or lunar eclipse is also very likely to happen, as Nibiru stands between the sun and the moon. stars falling down from the heavens is also nothing weird, because the system of Planet X, like every planetary and solar system, brings with its asteroid and stray debris, which will fall down on Earth when they miss our gravitational field. But last but not least, the earthquake. The famous astrophysicist Carlo Mundo Ferrada, who precisely calculated many terrestrial disasters and cosmos activities, had predicted that when the heavenly bodies come to Earth, its gravity will cause anomalies in the Earth's activities, leading to 3 enormous earthquakes, respectively, in northern Mediterranean, southern Pacific, and the region of Java and Sumatra. All these supposedly coincident, and all the attempts to censure the story since 1983 point to the conclusion that Planet X will soon knock on our back door, and we should be prepared for a series of mass extinction events. So guys, what do you think? Would you still doubt Planet X and call it an internet hoax, knowing that scientists and culture from different times and places all point to the same conclusion? If you still do, keep your eye on the sky, and something may change your perspective. As for the rest, who are more rational, also keep an eye on the sky with us and keep each other posted. We'll be back with more news soon, so remember to subscribe and stay tuned. This is JT at X Science, signing out.
Hello everyone, it's JT here at X Science, and today we going straight into the issue that we are most concerned about, Planet X. If you have seen our recent videos or footage about the miracle of the sun, then this video will be somewhat the same in the way that I discuss the matter, meaning I will not be talking much, but will just show you video clips as well as images that we have collected from sources all over the world that captures Planet X. As usual, here's a brief introduction on Planet X for those who are new to this concept. The consensus by many is that there is a giant rogue planet or system of planets even, that lurks beyond the known planets of the solar system, and it will come into contact with the Earth, creating a catastrophic event known as the Nibiru catalysm. One of the most compelling evidence that we have for this occurrence is the sightings of a second sun from all over the world, but most clearly seen in the southern hemisphere, because Planet X is said to be arriving from below Earth's elliptic plane. The first one I'm going to show you is probably a very good evidence of what is happening up there, because you see clearly a rogue red planet in the sky. The thing is, according to someone who used to work with the Hubble telescope that we were once lucky enough to interview, Planet X is red because it is made up of a lot of iron oxide. You know, the rust in iron that we usually see. So here's the whole footage, captured in the middle of July 2017. At first I, and probably many other watchers, thought it was somewhat a lens flare. because it was kind of blurry and somewhat seen-through. But if you inspect it closer, you will see that it is not. You see it's quite, say, solid. And you can see the clouds fly over it, indicating that it's there, but far beyond our atmosphere. Now I'm going to show you that clips again, but zoom in closer on Planet X and you even see an airplane passing by. Next, we have a drone footage.
Hand the camera to the left. He's going to find out there's something there besides the sun. This is just wonderful. Take a look at that. Now, of course, we would expect the sun and Nibiru, but there's more. So this means that it's getting closer, and not only that, it means that, well, we have others. Now, at first, I really thought this was an illusion, right? This was some sort of lens flare caused by the polarized lens. So this is not, because when you move the camera, you have no response coming from these objects. So we have the lens flare right down there. So you can see, he's going to pan the camera and you're going to see the lens flare moving from right to left and left to right. These objects are stationary next to the sun. Now one would ask, James, why don't I see this during the day? Well, because you need welding lens or a polarized lens so you can see these objects, because the sun is too bright.
As you can see, this drone was just taking an aerial clip, but when it captured the sun and lowered its light settings, you can clearly see another object and the lens flare of that object next to the sun. Then we have another clip to assure you that what we see up in the sky is definitely not lens flare.
At first I really thought it was an illusion, but it isn't.
As you can see, the second object up there is too bright to be the moon, especially when the sun is still around. Additionally, you can see its reflection clearly on the water below. Next one was captured in 2016. Again, you can see planet X in bright red and reflecting onto the water surface. Then we have this video taken last October. It's not as high definitions as the previous ones, but you can clearly see another object close to the sun. In the next one, you can see it set with the sun. That's basically all I want to show you guys today. If all these captures are still not enough to convince you to believe in Planet X, then I'm not sure what will. Just know that NASA and the authorities will do whatever they can to cover your eyes and convince you that it is not real. President Reagan even made it a national security mandate and prohibited any institutions or agencies to address the issues in public, so you can probably imagine how severe the problem actually is. They even spray mist into the sky, an act known as chemtrailing, in order to make it difficult for us to spot Planet X in the sky. So the ending message here is that keep an eye on the sky as well as your physical surroundings, because signs are everywhere. Also subscribe to our channel because we have updates coming out very often. And don't forget to stay safe, guys. Until next time, this is JT at X Science signing out.